Battered, bruised, and broken, but more in tune to what matters most in his life than ever before. That's the continuing saga of Bensenville police officer Stephen Kotleski.
That's right. We first brought you the story of his recovery in February after he survived a barrage of bullets late last year. With each passing day, he is improving. Our Patrick Elwood joins us now with an update you'll see only on Chicago's very own. Pat?
Right, Michael, good evening to you. Against all odds, this gentleman is still alive and inching his way back to better health. This evening, there now comes word as well that he is getting a much-needed economic shot in the arm thanks to Home Depot. In the days, weeks, and months following that dreadful domestic disturbance call, it might sound odd to hear, but his own life, he says, has never been more harmonious for Stephen Kotleski. He is more in tune to what matters most to him than ever before.
I told Crystal that this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
What happened to him? It started as a call to 911, somebody acting erratically. When he got to that Bensenville apartment, in a matter of moments, his life changed forever.
I don't know what's going on.
A 21-year-old man appeared, gun in hand, and opened fire. Pulling that trigger 10 times, 8 bullets hit his body, a 9th went into his vest. In his escape, he tumbled down the stairs, shattering bones, and managed to draw his gun, awaiting his execution, which never came. But backup did. Applying a tourniquet, his fellow cops and a responding paramedic team saved him.
It was a fake call for the purposes of summoning a police officer so that when he got there, he would be killed. And if it wasn't me, it would have been the second guy.
From the hospital to therapy 5 days a week, he was beginning to work through what happened, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Okay. You had conversations with God since this?
I've had arguments with God.
Today continues the long road to recovery. At first glance, with the scars and the weight loss and whatnot, it may not seem so, but he's feeling stronger every day.
I have to go back for a test tomorrow, a CT scan of my back, because he thinks my back might be healed enough to do some more therapy, different therapies.
And the outpouring of support has been terrific.
It's kind of overwhelming that people care that much.
Crystal is Steve's wife.
I'm in shock by it, and I'm just so grateful that people do care as much as they do, and they are willing to help people that need it. Things are being done, and it's almost done.
What things, you ask? Well, a new wheelchair-accessible bathroom with a shower. The old one only had a toilet, and the family shower is upstairs, which in his condition is undoable. So he's been staying at the in-laws down the block. They do have a shower on the first floor. Insurance denied the request to pay for that new first-floor bathroom, instead suggesting he shower by way of a curtain and a hose in the kitchen. After the last story aired in February, the people at Home Depot took notice.
We are heavily invested in our communities.
So now Home Depot is taking care of the remodel for free.
What we did was, there was a need for Stephen to be able to maneuver around in a wheelchair. We moved doors, we moved walls, we're adding new appliances so that, he can easily maneuver through here.
To say the least, this family is over the moon thankful, and they frequented Home Depot already for the way that it treats veterans. Crystal's dad, Dave, served in Desert Storm.
Home Depot, I've always been a big fan of Home Depot. It's the only store that I'll go to for hardware stuff. Because they do the military discount as well.
One day, who knows when, Steve hopes to get back on the job.
Yes, I want to be a cop again. I want to go back to work.
Back to work with a new sense of what matters most.
What matters?
Yeah, not a lot. It's not a lot. The life's very simple. Very simple. That's why I like my kids, because they help me to realize their clarity of vision is, that's what I'm trying to get back to, that kind of clarity.
For Officer Steve, these days, that's simply enjoying the passage of time with the ones he loves most. And like never before, his house is a very, very, very fine house. Actually, Warren key to a harmonious home. Officer Steve is a well-rounded individual as well. He's a musician, a painter, and he's fluent in Spanish thanks to his Puerto Rican mother. Lots and lots of therapy awaits, maybe a surgery or two still yet to be determined, but he is making progress.
He is.
Great to see him walking again, and the community stepped up. I have to ask about the police investigation. Where do things stand with the
21-year-old man has been charged. It is currently working its way through the court system and kind of at a slower pace, not slower than most or whatever the case may be, but you know, due process is involved here, so another court date awaits.
Thanks for the update. We appreciate it, Pat.